Yeah, hi there. These comments are for ZR, and I want to give you some comments on your essay right now. And I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer of all of your lessons at Stealth, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So I'm scoring your essay based on the rubrics that ETS uses to grade this type of writing task. And if I remember correctly, let me take a look at your name here. So you actually took 43 minutes and 32 seconds. So you almost took the 30 minutes that you needed. So you finished fairly quickly. And let's talk about your organization first of all. So I think you need a more specifically focused thesis. Let's take a look at your thesis. You say movie theater is very different from a library or park. To me, that sets up more of what's called a compare and contrast thesis. It sounds like now you're going to compare a movie theater with a library or park, or compare the benefits of having a movie theater versus the benefits of a library or park. But that's not really what the question is asking. The question is, do you support or oppose the plan, right? So you oppose the plan, but you're not really specifically explaining why there, so you need a more sharply focused thesis. How do you do that? In the 6th section of my online TOEFL course, there's the first 2 lessons, they talk about sharply focused thesis statements. You want to watch those videos, so you need a little bit more help on how to create a more sharply focused thesis. So if you look at what your key points are, for example, you have in the second idea is you would not attend the movie theater very much, right? So that's a key point. Another key point, I think, is noise. And then another key point is called traffic, right? So then, if you look at these things, these 3 points, then you go to the beginning, you might say, when I heard the announcement that a movie theater may be built in my neighborhood, I would definitely oppose this plan because I don't attend movie theaters very often anyway, comma. There'll be a lot of noise generated because of the theater, comma, and because it would generate a lot of traffic when people start visiting the movies. So if you did that in the beginning, you lay out your points A, B, and C, and then you can refer to them in body paragraphs 2, 3, and 4. That would connect your ideas a little bit better. Okay, so body paragraph 2, you talk about the library and the park. To me, I don't think that's a good strategy, but you do say you would not go to the movie theater very frequently. And you talk about the library and the park. And you talk about attending the movie maybe once a month. And then you talk about driving maybe 30 minutes to a theater is not a big deal. So in that part of your paragraph, you might want to say something like this. You might want to say, even though the current movie theater is located about 30 minutes from my house, it is not a problem for me because, as I stated, I do not attend movies very often. Right? So then, let's go to the next paragraph. You say, besides no benefit, you said, building a movie theater beside my home has nothing benefit or convenience for my daily life. You might want to say here, besides no benefits, then you say there is some problem that may be caused by this place. There's not really a good topic sentence there. You might want to say, besides no benefits to my daily life, building a new movie theater near my house will generate a lot of unnecessary noise. That's what I would say there. That's the topic sentence you could use for paragraph number 3. Now when you get to paragraph 4, you say another problem may be brought as traffic jam. To connect it a little bit better to the writing task, you might say another problem that a new movie theater poses is the traffic. Or how about another problem the new movie theater may pose to my neighborhood is traffic. And then you get into your discussion there and then you have your conclusion. Let's see what you have here. You say, there has more problem, will follow this plan. You're having a lot of grammar problems, I'll be honest with you. You say there has and then will follow. You have two different verbs in the same sentence, but there's only one subject there. If you said this, building a new theater will cause more problems, maybe. Okay, so in the conclusion, what are you trying to do here? In the conclusion, you want to restate the key points that you made in your body paragraphs. Number one, you're not going to go to the movies that much. Number two, the movie theater will generate a lot of noise. Number three, there'll be a lot of traffic. So if you look at your conclusion, you're not really restating those key points. So your introduction and your conclusion don't tie together very well. You need to frame those topic sentences so they more explicitly connect back to the writing assignment. Now what you can do is check out the sample. I actually have a sample, a model essay that you can read. You can kind of compare what you wrote with that and see what adjustments you might make. So you do have some organizational problems, right? Now let's talk about language use. You actually do have some language use issues pretty much in every paragraph in this essay. So let's talk about that for a minute. In paragraph number 1, you have what's called a run-on or a comma splice. So you say, if the plan is to build a library or park, I will agree with that. Right after that, you want to put a period or a semicolon, then say, however, comma, a movie theater is very different, I would say very different than a library or a park. So that's how I would change that particular sentence to solve some of your language issues that you have. Okay, let's take a look at your second paragraph. Let's find a language issue here. In the second line beginning with if, you might say, if I am not get, you can't say I am get. You can't use the be verb with the base form of the verb. You might say, if I do not get there often, it is possible to use do here. So if I do not get there often, comma, I would say, driving a car every month for 30 minutes to get to the theater is not a big deal. That's how I would use that. I would use the word driving a car, use driving a car, that's a gerund, use that as your subject. And even in the sentence after that, you might want to say, building a movie theater besides my home has no benefits or convenience for my daily life. So I would change nothing to no. Use an adjective there, not a noun. Okay, in the next paragraph, let's take a look at some language issues here. Okay, in the very first sentence, you have there is, may be caused, will strongly affect. You say there is some problem may be caused by this play. What does play mean? That's probably not the right word. What if you said this? Besides no benefits, building a new movie theater will negatively affect my life. That might be better as your topic sentence there. So building a new movie theater may negatively affect my life. And then you talk about the problem of noise. Okay, let's go to your fourth paragraph. Take a look at some language issues here. In the first line, the second sentence, you say, new movie theater must lead the pressure of traffic nearby. You got to do a little bit better with the cause-effect connection here. You might say, building a new movie theater will encourage patrons to visit it, which will increase the traffic coming to the area. That's probably what you could say there. So again, you're just having a lot of problems with your basic sentence structure. Let's go to the final paragraph. You say there has more problems, will follow this plan. We went over this just a minute ago. You can't have double verbs in the same sentence in a single independent clause. So that's also a grammatical issue, and I think if you said more problems will follow this plan, you could do that without saying there has. So again, just maybe more problems will follow this plan. All right, so let's take a look at your score. So you're not going to score very well on this one, I'll be honest with you. If I take a look at the rubrics that the Educational Testing Service uses to grade these, you're going to score in the 2 range here. You have a large number of errors in sentence structure and or usage. You have quite a few problems with word choice. You also need to organize your paragraphs a little bit better. Remember, I talked about how you need to make the introduction and the conclusion connect together better. You need to work on framing those topic sentences a little bit better so everything connects together. So on this one, ZR, I'm going to put you at 2.0 out of 5 or 14 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Alrighty, anyway, thank you very much for your hard work. And let me check something really quickly here for a moment. Your grade for this, if you look in our syllabus, so if you score 2.0 on this one, I'm going to put you at let me find the rubric. Okay, here we go. So 2.0 is going to put you pretty low. I'm going to put you at about 64% out of 100 on this particular writing task. And here's what you want to do. I already gave you some suggestions, but let's be honest here. You have some pretty basic language issues going on here. So I can tell by your sentence style and your word choice that you need more practice with the language. So what do? A, you can do nothing and continue to have very big problems with your writing, or B, there are some things that you can do that will make a difference. So I think one of the things you want to do is, in the vocabulary section of my course, take some time to master the words. Vocabulary lesson number 3, vocabulary lesson number 4, 5, and 6. That's going to give you access to about 1,700 vocabulary words. Now I know you can't learn these overnight, but make an effort, make an honest effort over the next few months to master the words in those lessons. That's going to really help you because you're limited right now. You're limited with your vocabulary. So the only way to solve that is to expand your vocabulary. Now, the ACLP curriculum, we have 10 words that you're trying to learn each week, but that's frankly not going to be enough for you. You need to have even a better, more expanded range of vocabulary. So that's very important for you. Now the second thing is, keep spending time in my online course, especially focusing on grammar lesson number 7. And as you go through those lessons, make sure you write down. It's important for you to write down the correct version of those sentences so you can feel the grammar. You can kind of get used to it. Now those are 2 good suggestions, right? Now number 3 and 4 involves reading and listening. And that's also going to help your language use a lot. So if possible, I know you're really busy, I know, but try to spend about an hour a day just reading magazines, newspapers, and longer books, and really pay attention to the vocabulary and the grammar that the writers are using there, because it's very different from what you're doing now. Remember, you have very basic vocabulary and very basic grammar, and then you're not even controlling that. You're having a lot of errors even with your basic vocabulary and grammar. Now the second thing with the reading is you can also do about 45 to 60 minutes a day of listening. When you do this though, don't just watch anything. You want to watch programs that are going to give you a little bit higher level of English. So watch news programs, documentary programs, maybe history programs, maybe news. And that's going to be actually science programs, I meant to say there. So if you do some of these things on a regular basis, you really can make a lot of progress in your writing. Now, I would also recommend between now and the final exam, take some more writing practice tests at my website. Maybe try to do 5 or 6 more. Then you can send me an email, and I'll make sure my teaching assistant will score those practice tests, and that's going to help get you more used to writing also. All right, anyway, thank you very much for your hard work, and keep up the good work.